I gave into what the people wanted. But more importantly, I'm following in the footsteps of my hero, report of the week. I'm trying the new Popeyes chicken sandwich. It smells really good. I'm also homeless at the moment and don't have a mic set up, so no ASMR. Sorry, this is what I sound like normally. Apparently, when report of the week tried this, he didn't like all the mayonnaise, but as you can see, I'm a white woman and I love me some mayonnaise. So, pretty fucking good. No complaints from me. So today I'm talking about the new King Gizzard. But first I would like to say, people were mad at me for my last video and how I pronounced Bon Iver. Just being an asshole now. It's Bon Iver. It's like a French word, phrase, I don't know. But that's how you pronounce it correctly, but I said Bon Iver. Like a moron. I just want to quote my English teacher in 10th grade when we read Les Mis. You know, the story where they all have very French names. She said you can either say it incorrectly and sound like an asshole, or say it correctly and sound like an asshole. That's pretty fucking good. I'm really hungry though. I haven't had anything to eat all day, so. But this is good. So, anyways. Now that I've rambled on about things other than King Gizzard for 2 minutes, let's get to King Gizzard. Infest the Rat's Nest. Second album from them this year, following Fishing for Fishies, which I personally loved a lot, Fishing for Fishies. And I must say, I loved this album too. I'm normally not a fan of thrash metal. I'm also normally not a fan of pickles, but it's kind of working for me today, so I'm going to be eating the pickles in my sandwich. Yeah, I'm normally not a metal fan. Like, I totally get it. I love, you know, the high energy and the aggression that comes with it, but I normally have that outlet with, like, heavier hip-hop. So, I don't know, metal never really, like, I mean, I like some of it, but I wouldn't call myself, like, a metal fan. But this was definitely, like, their most metal album that they've ever made. And it was definitely the most thrashy, I guess, the most hardcore. But it worked really well, which I didn't expect. Not that I didn't expect it to work well. I didn't expect myself to like such a heavy metal album. Because I just don't, normally. But I think a lot of my problem with some metal, not all metal, but is that it doesn't not ever let up. But I think there's a lot of metal artists who have a hard time with, like, you know, building tension and releasing tension. Like, that's, you know, if we're just up here the whole time, it stops being up here. It's more like, you know. And I think one of my favorite things about this King Gizzard album is that they did such a good job of, like, you know, releasing the tension, building it up. You know, it was very fluid in a very cohesive way, and it was good. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely metal. It's about the world ending, which, if you pay attention to anything, you know is happening. I'm picking this pickle off, sorry. Picking for pickles. That wasn't funny, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you pay attention to the news in any way, you would be aware that the earth is dying and we're killing it, and all the rich people in the world don't care because they're just gonna fly to Mars and 69 each other for the rest of existence. That's for Jeff Bezos. And yeah, it's a very politically charged album, but in a good way. It definitely like tells a story. And it's definitely its own, I don't know, I always love, like, I guess this is a concept album. I always love albums that are very much like their own story and all the songs really go together. And I think it's Pitchfork. I don't like Pitchfork, but they did say that this album sounds like a soundtrack, and I really like that comment because I've noticed a lot of the albums that I end up liking the most are ones that I could see as like movie soundtracks. Because, you know, even though I only talk about music on here, I'm a big movie fan. The mayonnaise is so good. I love mayonnaise. The chicken's good, the bread's good. 10 out of 10 Popeyes. Y'all are good. I'm not homophobic. But yeah, I don't know if I said this, but I also consider this album kind of punk in a way. Not so much how it sounds, but just the whole vibe around it. Because I love punk music. I just spat everywhere. I love punk music, but I think I like how it's all very political. I think punk music tends to be the most political of the genres. And so when you have a really politically charged album, I'm going to consider it punk. I also hate that being like, hey, the earth's dying. That's bad. Is political. Like, that's really annoying. But this is America, I guess. What can you do? So anyways, I think, you know, there's always like two pillars of thought when it comes to, you know, rating and enjoying art. And there's like the entertainment value and then like what it is as an art piece, you know. Those are both important, and I think I was gonna give this an 8 because I did like Fishing for Fishies more. Just, you know, not that it was better. I would argue this is better, produced better. I don't know, and all their music videos too for all these I love so much. It reminds me of like Saturation era Brockhampton when they were releasing all their videos. And they're fun. But just me and my personal music taste, I do think I like Fishing for Fishies more, but I don't want that to take away from how much I enjoyed this album and how good it is and important it is, and I think it's one that people should listen to. So I didn't want to give it a lower rating and be like, they're getting worse, because they're not. They're King Gizzard, like they're amazing, you know? They can do anything. That's always a joke, is the versatility. But they really can, and I don't know, like the contrast between the two albums, I think makes each one stronger. And I don't know, I love that. People always joke, they're like, oh, the next King Gizzard's gonna be like trap or some obscure genre that they've never touched on. And I'm like, yeah, it's a funny joke, but also, like, they could do it. Like, if they did it, it'd be good. I hope they do. I hope they keep adventuring out, because, I mean, they've proven time and time again, every time they do it successfully, so. So anyways, I think for me, you know, Fishing for Fishies is, like, the entertainment pillar, and this one is, like, the, you know, more of an art piece pillar of thought. And they're both really good. And so I think because of that, I am giving Infest the Rat's Nest a 9 out of 10. Cheers. I'm gonna have to get White Man's Horde tattooed on my forehead with how much I fucking love King Gizzard. What can you do? So, I say I'm homeless. I mean, it's not like I'm sleeping on the streets every night. Basically, my lease ended July 31st and my new one doesn't start till end of August. So I've been couch surfing. I'm not gonna be like, hey, can you like leave your room so I can like film myself eating and whispering into a mic? So, here we are. But since I am in my car, here's some ASMR for you. Since I am in my car, I thought I'd do a little what's in my car haul. I have a bunch of CDs in my car, and I thought I would show you. One more bite. That's good. Popeyes did it right. So, this I just got. My friend went to LA and George Clanton had a pop-up shop. And he got me a CD that was signed by George Clanton. Big fan of him. He used to follow me on Instagram like 2 years ago when he was smaller, and then he unfollowed me. What's up with that? Oh Brother, Where Art Thou soundtrack. This is folk music from Belize that I got in Belize. High Low by Jack Stauber. One of my favorites. 10 out of 10. Definitely listen to that. Bon Voyage. Melody's Echo Chamber. Hia Volume 2. This is a local band from where I'm from. Check them out. They're great. Wall-E soundtrack. This kind of gets scary when you're like driving alone at night and it's intense orchestral music, you know. A lot of people say Wall-E is, you know, Space Odyssey for kids. Maybe that's why it's my favorite Pixar movie. And Cows on Hourglass Blonde Pond. Signed by Avi. Yeah, that's it. Bye.